Today's deal on Acquisitions Anonymous is super fun. It involves dude ranches and a mountain and Twitter and somebody that both Mills and I know. So the cool thing about this deal is the seller, a guy named Peter from Twitter, he is basically live selling it on Twitter. So we got to see all the Q&A that people are asking as he's trying to market the deal there. So we dug into the deal after a little bit of chit chat. I think you will enjoy it. Stick around and see if you agree with us on how we felt about the deal. All right, catch you next time. And here's the episode.
Episode Acquisitions Anonymous.
Hello, another episode of Acquisitions Anonymous.
We don't have 100% beard anymore.
And thumbs downing on just the plus inventory line.
So many founders and operators still use their personal number to talk to customers. And sure, that works when you're just starting out, but eventually it starts costing you time and money. That's where OpenPhone comes in. It's a modern business phone system that lives in an app. You get one number and your whole team can use it like a shared inbox for calls, texts, voicemails, all in one place. Somebody reaches out to you, your ops lead can reply. Your co-founder can follow up. You don't have to be the bottleneck anymore. And if you miss a call, OpenPhone's AI agent picks it up, answers questions, and even logs new leads for you. It's one of those tools that makes you wonder why you didn't switch over sooner. 60,000 businesses already have. OpenPhone is offering our listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/AAPOD. That's OPENPHONE.com/AAPOD. And if you have existing numbers with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers.
Mills.
Wow, people just missed the best intro ever.
Where are other... so actually, my before I start complaining about our co-host, my wife and I have a 2008 Cadillac that is a hand-me-down from my deceased but would-be 95-year-old grandmother.
That's amazing.
Has 30,000 miles on it. It's total beast. Actually, I drove it the other day, and like a guy my age, walked up and he's like, "Where'd you get the Cadillac?" I was like, "Oh, hell yeah."
Anyway, there's always a story, right? There's always a story about how somebody got a Cadillac.
Hell yeah, I got this Cadillac 2008. Sometimes a V5, sometimes a V6, depending upon the day of the week, if it's cold or not. Anyway, so I started to refer to it as the Cadillac after the Billy Joel line, and my kids are just like, "Oh, you're such a dad.
Yeah.
Loser." What's up with you? Have any roofs broken this week? Anything exciting happen?
There's so many things. I feel like I would need 30 seconds just to gather my thoughts, but I haven't had that today. So.
Have you joined like a CEO peer group? Is there one in Columbia that you would want to be part of?
There's a handful, in terms of like YPO, EO, C12, all the different things. I am not in one. I've committed more to a group called Tugboat Institute.
Yeah.
This is when I was teasing you a couple of weeks ago why I'm going to Anaheim in October.
Is that the thing that Kevin Dahlstrom is talking about a lot or something different?
I don't know. I'm not sure. This is, it's a group of maybe about 350 member companies that are all private, no outside investment, and kind of like intentionally private. They would refer to themselves as evergreen businesses, but they range from about 5 million in revenue to I think like 7 billion in revenue. But most of them family owned or ESOPs or perpetual purpose trusts, things like that. But I've gotten a lot of value out of it, but it's not a weekly, monthly peer group kind of thing. They do have some of that, but I'm not in that part.
Got it. And like, do you meet people through it or no?
Yeah. There's basically like no investment bankers, no like salespeople, and it's kind of the primary owner, CEO only, but really, really cool behind the scenes look. So going to visit a family owned Hispanic grocery store chain in Texas that has like 2 billion in revenue. But it'll just
which one is it? La Fiesta?
No, Northgate Market.
That's not what it's called in the market. There's no way that's the brand name.
Pretty sure it is, but I haven't been there. I'll let you know in October.
It may be called. It would not surprise me if the real name is La Fiesta is the big one, I think. Then we also have Calabria Meat Market, which is pretty big here. It's a place you can go if you want to buy like a whole pig.
This is just in California.
Oh, I thought you said it was in Texas. I'm so
No,
sorry.
I may have said Texas, but I was just talking to a Texan, so it just, comes out. But yeah, they have, I think, like 43 stores and like 6,000 employees in California.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I
exciting,
need a peer group, probably more.
Yeah. Anyway, do what you want. All right. So from our group chat, I pulled this deal out for us to talk about. It is from Peter Askew. You recognize his. He's a Twitter guy.
Yeah, this has gotten a lot of traction, I feel like, this post.
Yeah, this is a way to, if you have a business that you're comfortable selling, and being known that you're selling it, it's another benefit of having an audience. Like this is great case in point. People are like, why do you do this like content stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the cherry on the top is the things you can do with it. I like actually teaching and creating, but the fact that you could do stuff like what Peter's doing here is just incredible.
Yeah, I was amazed. I didn't follow the thread for that long, but I looked back and he kept commenting like, I have 2 phone calls set up tomorrow. I have 5 phone calls set up tomorrow. I have like a backup offer, like it's kind of interesting.
So this is, he tweeted it out. He got 163,000 views. There's no sim, no broker, no nothing. The picture that he has is his foot and a pair of jeans looking at a mountain, which, by the way, genius marketing. Peter Askew, 10 out of 10 for that. So he put it out 2 days ago from this recording. So 12/11 on August 17th. And Peter, his handle is @searchbound. And he says, this Peter Askew, strongly considering the sale of duderanch.com business with a $225,000 asking price. Thought I'd mention it here on Twitter before I hire a broker. The trailing 12 months is currently $50,575. I assume that's profit. It's a directory marketplace biz model, and only expenses are domain renewal and hosting. All revenue is direct from Dude Ranchers. Traffic is up 30% year over year. It runs on WordPress. And if you're looking for a low-tech project and enjoy travel, ping me below or peter@duderanch.com. Here's a picture from me at one of my customers. I put that part in. Moosehead Ranch in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Happy to answer any questions. Then I'll go through some of the questions. I just told... Bill wanted to feature them on AccuAnon.
And he said it might be sold by end of the week, though.
Might be sold by the time you guys record it. Daniel Vassallo, who's also a tweeter, asked, does it run passively or is there an operational effort in building and maintaining relationships with the ranchers? Peter says, I manually send invoices monthly to my ranchers. I guess that's passive, not much effort needed for rancher relationships as the site performs well, driving them leads. I'm happy to make intros. There's a yearly conference in Billings, Montana that I attend, and I haven't raised rates in 10 years, so there's an opportunity there also. Base fee is $575 a year. So it's maybe we're talking about what this Peter's business does. Do you know?
I have no idea. I looked him up because this is kind of like the perpetual question we ask is like, why is this person selling the business? And Peter seems like, just really quick, he says he sells onions at vidaliaonions.com. He does ranch jobs at ranchwork.com, Dude Ranch vacations at duderanch.com, and then he has some other kind of random projects. So what is a dude ranch, Michael?
You don't know what a dude ranch is?
Well, this is like the hypothetical question we always ask at the beginning of the episode about what a company does.
I was just messing with you. It only took me like 5 episodes of you guys kind of getting the back and forth of how we play the role. If somebody asks you, hypothetically, do you know what X is? The answer is always no. Hey, do you know what color the sky is? No, I don't know.
No,
Explain it to me. The answer is always no when you're recording a podcast. So anyway, duderanch.com, I pulled it up here. It's on the screen. It is a Dude Ranch. It's Expedia for Dude Ranch vacations. That's how I would describe it. So you can pay as a Dude Ranch, like basically you own one, and you would like to get a bookings from people, and you go to this website, and it's got a combination of things. One is just straight up listings, and then it looks like promoted listings.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so Peter says basically folks pay $575 a year to have their Dude Ranch listed here, and you can basically go through and search adult only weeks, which I have some jokes about that, but we'll just keep it to ourselves. Geocaching, fly fishing, Orvis fly fishing, pack trips, petting zoo, and pickleball. And you can choose your price and what months they're open and that sort of thing.
How big do you think the TAM is for this? I don't really know. I've never done this.
Usually I ask Bill GPT this, but
Yeah.
I would guess there's not that many dude ranches. So,
I mean, look, we have the map right here, at least in terms of his kind of, his customer base, because the Dude Ranch itself is trying to figure out how do we get connected to our potential clientele, just like an Airbnb host wants to make sure that their availability is posted for potential guests to see. So the Dude Ranch, there's probably 200 give or take on this page right now. They want more clientele. They pay duderanch.com $575 a year.
correct.
In order to, be in front of people's eyeballs. And I'm guessing he's done something on the SEO side to, if you're looking for a Dude Ranch location, you end up on his site.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. The whole game here is I think he has SEO'd the hell out of it. If you type in Dude Ranch, Montana, this comes up.
What's like the average price point for something like this? I'm thinking about the value proposition in the Dude Ranch's mind. We pay this amount because we're going to convert, many multiples of that in kind of.
I bet you're paying thousands of dollars to come come visit. So here, I'll pull this one up in Canada, the Banff Trail Riders, and then it links me to their website.
Beautiful.
At some point.
Very
Dude,
beautiful.
these guys own horseback.com. First one I clicked on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so lodge vacations, backcountry vacations, $1,000 per person. So it's $500 per day. This one is $1,699 per person for 3 days. So you're paying $500 or $600 per day to stay in substandard lodging and ride a horse.
Where's Heather when we need her? Jeez. Not the Sub-Saharan lodging, Heather, for when you listen to this. But
so I mean, I think your question is a good one. How much of this is fixed cost versus marginal cost for these guys? And it looks like there's a lot of fixed cost where you're staying in these lodges that they have built and all that kind of stuff. So it's important to have high occupancy of those. They do look like they have marginal cost where they are. I'm sharing the wrong tab. They do have marginal costs where they are having to pay somebody to take you out as a guide and need more horses and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like it's mostly lodging type expenditure, right? If you imagine $300 a night towards hotel, $200 a day towards amenities and the riding the horses and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where my mind is on this stuff. So these are, if it's $1,000 per person for a 2-night thing, a family of 4, you're spending $4,000 to $5,000 on a trip plus travel.
And, I mean, if I'm leaving South Carolina to go to Montana, I'm going to do it more than 2 days. I'm probably going to shoot for 5 to 7.
Yeah.
So, I think this is one of those things where, I could Google around and maybe try and find one, but it looks like on duderanch.com on the website that Peter has, is there some kind of, it looks like there's a review kind of component to this, right? Where you're getting kind of the accumulating advantage of all the past instances of customers instead of me just like trying to go on TripAdvisor or something that's not as niche and getting less of an experience. Don't you think there's a kind of element of this where the niche like builds and builds and builds on itself?
Yeah, the reviews are powerful. You also have a situation where the link juice has got to be huge, right? He owns duderanch.com, which is kind of worth us taking a pause to talk about Peter's model. Mm-hmm. His whole model is I find a reasonably priced domain name, and that gives me the idea of the business to build. Like, you're like, how does this guy do Dude Ranches and Vidalia onions? Well, it turns out, guess what 2 domain names he owns? Dude Ranch and Girdley.com. No, I'm just kidding. He owns Dude Ranch and VidaliaOnions.com. So that's why he sells Vidalia onions.
Yeah.
All of his tweets are that way. And then I think the important thing about this is this basically has ski trip economics. And ski trip economics are the thing that the entirety of like Vail Resorts, all these ski trip businesses are built on, which is if people only have 2 weeks a year to go skiing, they'll pay up to go to the absolute best place and they pay $300 a day to go ski Vail. And if you're going to go do this, you're going to go on something magical. You're not going to just go to Jim's backpacking / dead horse, sleep in a tent type thing. You're going to spend up for this because it's a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah. And the cost of it going wrong is like worse than the cost of paying for insurance in essence.
1,000,000,000%.
The first thing I thought though, when I saw this tweet was, this whole conundrum of like, there's good reasons and bad reasons to sell a business. So Peter has a bunch of different things going on, and yeah. Why are you this person? You have it pulled up.
Yeah,
Why are you selling on onions? Yeah.
To focus on onions. I think that's the first time in the history of the English language that sentence has been created.
Yeah.
Why are you selling? To focus on onions? Question mark. All right. Peter said to sort of pull some money off the table, but also to inject some new blood in the project. I still love it and I'm strongly associated with the industry, but I haven't done a good job utilizing social media and haven't done much outbound sales for new signups, etc. That sort of thing.
To me, like, I don't know, I haven't had a conversation with Peter, but this could be a great example of a good reason to sell. The fact that he calls it a project, I think, is like the crux of it. There's plenty of people who really enjoy taking something from nothing to something, which is presumably, I think, what Peter did here. He found the domain, built the site around it, and now he's going, hey, look, this doesn't excite me as much. I'm doing it a disservice. I want to keep doing my 0 to something, my 0 to 1. I don't want to go from 1 to 10 on this. I did see in some of the comments and stuff he had made in the thread that he's being pretty discerning about who he's talking to as buyers and what the right fit is. And so I almost love the fact that this is like the competitive advantage is pretty durable and he can put it all out in the open. This is contrary to your typical broker conversation where it's like, I can't even tell you, anything about it until you sign an NDA and give me your social security number. And it's like, how fragile is that business compared to this? He's putting it all out there. He's telling you the pricing.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
It's almost like, come compete with me. You can't, I have duderanch.com.
Oh man. Well, I was looking at the website and I was like, okay, well, could you get this to $100,000 or $150,000 a year in revenue? And I was like, first thing I would do is like figure out how to like get closer into the value chain and provide more value to customers and like consult with them on how to find the perfect dude ranch. And they're doing it, but no offense to Peter, this is way under monetized. They've partnered with with these dude ranch vets, Bob and Karen Foster, who are kind of what you imagine of what people would look like who love talking about dude ranches.
Mm-hmm.
And they are charging not $10, not $20, not $30, but $40 to sit down and talk with you and share all of their expertise, having visited all these dude ranch in the world.
That is cool.
They're not making a commission. They're not a travel agent. Like Bob is just doing it for $40 for thousands of dollars on a vacation.
Are you ready to take the leap into business ownership, but you don't know where to start? Well, look no further than Acquisition Lab, the premier resource for entrepreneurs seeking to buy their dream business. Founded by Harvard MBA and acquisition expert Walker Deibel, the lab is your fast track to success in the search, diligence, and acquisition process. With hands-on support, world-class resources, and a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, Acquisition Lab gives you the tools and confidence to navigate every step of the journey. And we're proud to call Walker and Chelsea, the lab's director, longtime friends of the podcast. They're passionate about helping entrepreneurs like you take the next big step. So don't wait to make your business ownership dream a reality. Visit acquisitionlab.com today to learn more and schedule your free consultation. And when you do, be sure to tell them the Acquisitions Anonymous podcast sent you.
I think that's so cool though, because it's almost like
not if you want to make money though, bro.
Well, right. All he's doing probably, and Peter, correct us if we're wrong, I hope you listen to this, is that you're trying to focus on the core thing, which is how do I get more dude ranches to give me my base, cost, the $575 per year. And so then you have a person like Bob and Karen Foster, and you say, look, you guys love this. You want to pay it forward. They may not, duderanch.com may not even take a big on this. Yeah. They may not even skim it.
No, they get nothing.
It's paid directly to Bob and Karen, and it reinforces the entire, community aspect of this. And I agree. You could, as a pure capitalist, extract more value out of this, but I think it probably just reinforces the core business.
Yeah. Okay. So then you're arguing the way to grow this is kind of what Peter said. So somebody asked, what are the growth opportunities for a new buyer? This is so good. Every seller should do this.
Yeah, just put all your cards on the table.
It's just a live Q&A. And if you ever do sell a business, my number one recommendation to you is from day one, create a FAQ every time you get asked that question. If you get asked a question, write out your answer, copy and paste it, put it in your data room. Like I do that every single time. Like that way, by like the 14th person look at your SIM, there are no more questions you're being asked. Okay, but anyway, so what are the growth opportunities for the new buyer? Peter says, I haven't raised rates in 10 years. My base is $575 per year. Okay, can we agree that's low enough, or does your socialist, communist worldview, kumbaya, decide that? Are we not? Can my capitalist friend come back, Mills?
I am a capitalist, yeah. Have you seen that clip from the guy who sells something to farmers on Shark Tank? And they're like, why aren't you charging more? And he's like, because I'm selling to farmers. And they're like, but you could charge more. And he's like, but I'm selling to farmers. It's like this thing that helps water trees or something. I keep seeing the clip online. That's what I have in the back of my mind, because I think there is something about this that is like incredibly like operator minded for the base of these operators. And I just wonder, could you extract more value in the short term? Yes. Does it dilute the core essence of this? Maybe. But go ahead. I agree. He could, if you don't raise prices in 10 years, you probably need to raise prices. No, it doesn't matter what you're doing.
Well, I think it's somewhere in here he talks about how he has no churn whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's like, it's because your product's too cheap. Like, thanks. But look, he's charging $575 a year. Let's say on average, he's sending 50 leads to your typical Dude Ranch per year. That means they're doing, let's say, 50% conversion on those, or let's say even 25% conversion at a $7,000 per. He's sending for $575. He's sending these guys $150,000 worth of business. Like that's too low. It should be at $1,500, right? Okay. Then he says, I have a list of around 50 ranches that advertise with my friendly competitors that I have yet to pitch our services to Vidalia and Wrenchwork because they hijack his time. So he doesn't sell anything. You don't even have a salesperson. An opportunity to offer new ads on an email newsletter and also expand on my signature Rants Awards that I haven't run in a few years, but that's just a few. Signature Ranch Awards. You know what this reminds me of? Wine ratings.
Yes, one of our favorite, favorite hustles ever.
So if you're new here, if you haven't been here for the past 500 episodes,
episode like 12, I think maybe.
It was so early, and we're just like, this is such a good business. So they were doing $3 million a year. The way this wine business worked is the wineries would pay this service to rate the wine and give awards. Most everybody won an award, and the wineries would send them free wine, and then they would hire independent contractors to do it, to taste the wine and write up reviews of the wine and then give an award. And so everybody won, and these people just collected several $1,000s a year from each winery who wanted an award. So this seems like a great opportunity to be Ranch of the Year and stuff like that. Have a ranch gala.
Yeah, or it could be like, best food, best cabins, best, glamping experience. Like there could be a category for everything under the sun, in essence.
So I think your worry is, and Peter says it here, this project isn't a high-flying $1 million opportunity. This is just a killer high-margin project where you can travel your tail off and visit some of the most amazing spots in North America as a business expense and grow revenue a little. Could it get to $100,000 a year or more? Yeah, I think it could, which to me reads, it could get to 150 easily for a sole proprietor.
I think that these kind of circumstances are really interesting to me because whether it's this or real estate, the allure of value add is so tempting because people go, oh, how hard could it be? I just need to do X, Y, and Z. But I think you've got to go all in on the value add, whether you're doing value add on a, piece of real estate or on a project like this, which is what Peter calls it. You really would have to completely immerse yourself. You'd have to go to the industry association meetings. You'd have to go, rub shoulder to shoulder with these folks, which if you're like me, you're a father of 4 and you own a business, like I can't do that. It doesn't, the value add element is like epic as it seems. It doesn't suit me in this phase of life, but for the right person, I mean, you could have an amazing quality of life and you probably could find ways to grow this. The real dilemma for me is, are you having to pay up for the value add? So many times in a value add situation, a seller wants you to pay for the value that you're going to add, and kind of what could be. And I'm not saying Peter is doing that, but it just makes you wonder. A lot of people want you to pay for the growth of what's possible, not what is historical and actually been done.
But wait, there's more. So trailing 12 months it says, I guess that's revenue, but mostly it seems like it's profit. He barely works on it. He's asking 4.5 times free cash flow.
Okay. So I think it's right in that sweet spot where, it's not so low that you don't even have to do due diligence, and you can just, the price is your due diligence and you can ride away with it. It's on Twitter. So it's probably honestly a pretty efficient market, the Twitter comments. I don't know. I think at 4.5 times, depending on your capital structure, you probably do have to grow it a little bit in order to have enough, marginal free cash flow.
Yeah. I mean, I think the most important thing to recognize about this is there are some businesses you run into like this one where the person has 1,000,000%, 100%, trillion% optimized for how do I have the absolute best life possible with the minimum amount of work and doing nothing I don't want to do. And that's where this business is. And all the growth opportunities that he talks about just are going to require some hustle, right? Mm-hmm. So that's there. But if you, let's say, Mills, you get this, it's a 50,000, you double through a combination of new customers, raising the rates. Let's say we go from 575 to 775 to 975 over a couple of years. You could see yourself getting 125 or 150. That would put it at basically 1.5 times free cash flow.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn good.
I think if I would need to figure out, he said it's 50,000 ballpark, 50,000 trailing 12-month net, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Because if you got 200 member dude ranches paying you $575, you're at $115,000 in revenue per year. So it's basically 2 times revenue is what's being asked, a little bit over maybe 2.25 times.
Oh no.
Right?
I think he's quoting, I think his expenses are so low, basically it runs at 98% profit margin.
Oh, okay.
It's a WordPress site with some credit card processing and a domain renewal. That's
so
what he
you don't
talks
think
about.
it's 115,000 in revenue and 50,000 net?
I think he has 100 customers right now and he's doing 50,000 in revenue.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. But yeah, 98%, or 95% margin or something like that. What's the highest and best use? If you just, okay, Michael, put on your capitalist hat and, twist your mustache. What's like the absolute most like just pure, capitalist approach to this if you were going to squeeze every last drop out of it?
Okay. This may sound half-baked, but it's because it's totally off the top of my head. Number one, you got to raise the prices, and you got to figure out how you're going to do that without alienating people. Totally fine. Number two, I think you start to look at how do you actually go and run a sales process, because they're not doing that. They're just totally like, well, if somebody shows up, they show up. This is something that you need to have handheld selling. I would hire a seller and put them on like 80% commission. I would do it in a low-cost jurisdiction. Call hirewoodnear.com. Number three, I would look at how do I add value-add services on top of this? Like, how do I start to make money from that concierge stuff, travel agency, all that kind of stuff? I would take and try to monetize these eyeballs on top of it some more. And those value-add services could be more concierge type stuff, the agent type stuff. Then you could actually white label some trips and stuff like that and start to get into that business as well, right? Like, how do you get where you're making 20 or 30% margin on some of this stuff rather than just getting referral fees and that sort of thing? So those are the 3 levers. Yeah. Raise prices, sell some stuff, figure out what else to sell to the same people.
Yeah. I think that's a good playbook. My only concern would be, does it cannibalize and erode, it's a marketplace. So does it erode kind of your marketplace? And I don't know, but I mean, I think you have to extract more value, and if you have to extract more value, then I agree. Those are the ways you do it.
And look, the way to not erode a marketplace like that is basically figure out when you charge more, how do you provide more value?
Exactly.
Right? And I'm not trying to screw anybody over with all this stuff. Like, I'm just trying to let's create more value for these customers on both ends of the marketplace. The clients,
we're going to charge more because we're delivering more.
Yeah. I mean, you could charge the ranches to do a review, right? On-site visit, reports, all that kind of stuff. So, there's, besides just charging more for the base service, you could figure out how to add more services and create more of a premium offering. Would you like to be one of our reviewed ranches? Well, okay, here's what it costs you: a free trip, and it costs $2,000 a year. And we send somebody out who's an expert, goes on your trip.
Yeah.
All that totally works.
Peter, I'm fascinated by this.
Yeah.
And I hope you keep live tweeting the entire process. If you want somebody to grill your potential buyer with questions, we're happy to do that. And
For a fee.
Live record. Hey, you know what? We'll give you the Bob and Karen Foster special and it'll be $40.
We should talk about the obvious thing worth worrying about. AI is coming for search. Do we think this is going to get disrupted by AI search?
I don't know. Those kind of questions are above my pay grade. I mean,
okay, imagine this is a roof and there's a hailstorm coming in. If AI was the hailstorm, would you be worried?
I'm so confused. Yeah. I mean, I think if something is, if it's tethered into the digital world in such a major way like this, then yes, it could be coming. It could be coming for your inefficiency.
My thesis right now is that for AIs, basically there will be a transition of SEO as a technology that stops speaking so much to how our eyeballs act and how the AI's eyeballs act. Yeah. And you're seeing more of that. I forgot what the exact name of it is, but they've stopped calling it SEO. They're calling it, I don't know, agentic optimization or something. There's some weird name for it where people are like, okay, we're optimizing for how does ChatGPT see our site? How does Gemini see our site and so on? So I'm less worried about it. In the end, it's just the AIs are just a middle person coming in between you and the data, and then the data just has to get reformatted for a new middle person who's not Google.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, I think you put out the call to Peter. Kudos to him for putting this out there. I'm gonna click cool. Like button. Good job, Peter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I pooped on aspects of your deal, but I think you're a great guy. So
we should have him on. That would be a fun conversation.
He seems like a great guy. I gotta admire people that optimize for the life they want to live.
So
Girdley.com is also for sale. I should put it on here. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here this week. We'll catch you next time. And if you enjoyed this episode, please talk about it on social media. We would appreciate it. Tag Peter on it. He's at Searchbound is the name of it. And we'd love to hear from you. So, all right, catch you next time.